Well, folks, I think this is huge news, that no other media outlets are really covering this in any great length. That is the fact that Australia has put a call out to pause gene-based COVID-19 vaccines. Where did I see this? Courageous Discourse, Dr. Peter McCullough's Substack. Now, shouldn't I be seeing this on Fox News and everywhere else? You're going to see it here on Real America's Voice. But Australia is pausing this. They were the craziest when it came to the vaccines and the lockdowns and everything. So what does this mean for all of us? I want to welcome to the program world-renowned cardiologist and epidemiologist, as well as the chief scientific officer at the Wellness Company, a company I absolutely adore. Dr. Peter McCullough is with us. Doc, it is so great to see you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So I'm reading your Substack this morning, as I do most mornings. It's one of the first emails that comes in. And I see Australia puts a pause. You got to be kidding me, doctor.
Well, let me clarify. It's not the government of Australia putting a pause, but there's some esteemed authors, Peter Perry, first author, Julian Gillespie, senior author, now 2 papers in the peer-reviewed literature describing the dangers of the COVID-19 vaccines, this continued production of spike protein in the body, the spike protein causing damage. It's really the mechanism by which the vaccines cause so much harm. And in 2 peer-reviewed papers now that are widely cited, they are calling to pause these vaccines, to stop using them. We have to see more calls like this in order to get enough momentum to get these off the market.
All right, the shame is now, doctors have been put in groups, right? You're in one group over here, there's the other doctors over here. What we need are some other doctors that are well respected from pre-pandemic to join doctors like you who are well respected pre-pandemic, but now sadly got labeled in this group. And I hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
It's true. Only about 4% of doctors, remain unvaccinated. 96% of the doctors took the vaccine. They're having the hardest time coming to reckon with the safety issues of the vaccine because they have it themselves. It's as if all the doctors were taking Vioxx, and then there was a problem with Vioxx. They're not going to come forward and say, yeah, I made a mistake. So that's the problem here. I think it's going to take a long time before the orthodoxy, largely vaccinated, are going to basically come to realize that they've made a personal health mistake. They've advised their patients on this disastrous mistake, and now they have to make amends.
Anecdotally, Dr. McCullough, have you gotten any colleagues of yours quietly say to you, you were right, Doc?
I have occasionally doctors contact me and say, listen, I can't speak out publicly. My job is at risk, or my group doesn't understand. By one, they're contacting me. More and more people follow me, obviously through social media and a whole variety of sources. I think the big problem now is the employers, health systems, medical schools have been so pro-vaccine, none of them are willing to admit they've made a policy mistake.
This is in one respect why I love being aligned with the Wellness Company, and the website's on the screen right there, because you offer up, doctor, it's not just the emergency kit with the antibiotics and antivirals, which is so important to have in your house, but you also have a membership where you have access to doctors who are not doctors, just go along to get along doctors. Fair to say, Dr. McCullough?
Wellness Company's done a wonderful job. The physician groups have been cohesive, 24/7 physician access, helping people out in a jam. Now, there's telemedicine, there's aspirations to have face-to-face visits. Many of us at the Wellness Company, we have our own practices, independent practices where, we fairly advise patients on the best course to take. I know my clinical practice, Grant, I'm overwhelmed with patients with vaccine injuries like myocarditis, blood clots, neurologic problems, immunologic problems. It's simply overwhelming. The medicine, the Wellness Company and the doctors in medicine there are certainly well appraised of vaccine and long COVID injuries and know how to handle it.
I've been reading about these excess deaths, which are deaths that exceed the trend line. And of course, they went through the roof after the pandemic. What are you seeing when it comes to these excess deaths? And is it because of the virus, or is it because of the vaccine, or maybe both?
My surmise here is that it's both. The virus itself, there's no doubt about it, and I see this in my clinical practice, it clearly had its own mortality rate, but a study by Xi and colleagues from the VA showed that people had heart attacks and strokes and higher risk of cardiovascular events 6 weeks after COVID. This was before the vaccine. I'm seeing patients just with COVID, Grant, having blood clots and other problems even 2 years after COVID. Now add in the vaccines. Oh, my Lord. We've never seen rates of heart attacks and myocarditis, cardiac arrest, blood clots, strokes. So I think both are playing a role. The thing that's very disturbing is our FDA Commissioner, Rob Califf, recently came out and said that all-cause mortality is rising at an alarming rate. And he pointed to obesity and diet and high blood pressure and all these other causes and was completely oblivious to COVID and the vaccines.
Of course, because you know what? He's not oblivious. He knows, which is why they're lying to us. Dr. Peter McCullough, as always, again, Merry Christmas. It's great to see you again, and we'll talk again real soon for sure.
Thank you.
All right. I want everyone to go to twc.health/voice, okay? Use promo code VOICE for the kit that I was talking about. Save 10% on the Wellness Company's medical emergency kit, and check out what they offer. Lots of stuff to push back against. If you took the vax, there's also ways to fight back against that. All the information is on the website there. All right, so prescription antibiotics, antivirals, antiparasitics, you name it. twc.health/voice. All right, folks, coming up next, New York City's Mayor Eric Adams taking some heat from New Yorkers. You just have to hear it to believe it.
We wish